Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of Blazers Inside Access. I'm Kirk McDonald. We have a lot to cover in this week's episode. Lots of action from around the world of Belhaven athletics. But before we get into that, let's talk about the Blazers C Spire Athlete of the Week. It was senior setter Erin Bradley of the volleyball team. She had a great week, leading the Blazers to 3 victories over Loyola, Bruton Parker, and College of Coastal Georgia. She had a season-high 52 assists against Loyola last week. Belhaven volleyball continued its great season this past week. They've now won 5 matches in a row. They defeated Bruton Parker on Friday, College of Coastal Georgia on Saturday, and Centenary College to start this week on Tuesday night. The women's soccer team had a tough weekend. They faced 2 very strong opponents in Brunel and Lee. They lost to Brunel 4-1 and then fell to the 4-time defending NAI national champion Lee on Saturday 6-0. The Belhaven men's soccer team kept rolling with a couple of big victories this past weekend over 7th-ranked Southern Polytechnic State on Friday 1-0. They followed that up with a 3-1 victory over Lee University on Saturday. Belhaven goalie Carl Blundell was also named the Southern States Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week. And the Blazers, after those 2 victories, remain number 4 in the latest NAI Top 25 poll. They also are the only unbeaten and untied team in the Top 25. They received a first-place vote in this week's poll. Here's head coach Brian McMahon with his thoughts on the team.
Well, it was a very difficult weekend for us. Southern Poly is as good as they come. Coming into the game, I think they averaged 23 shots a game, and we're only giving up 2 shots a game. So we knew how good a team they were, and so to be able to score early on them gave us a lot of confidence. And to be honest with you, the Poly game was probably a tale of 2 halves. I think we the first half had a little better of the play, and definitely the second half they had a lot of opportunities. And I thought our team defensive effort was a nice, really gave us the outcome and the result that we wanted against Poly. Today with Lee, the conditions were tough. It was a downpour of rain the whole time, and Lee was a very physical team, very aggressive in their approach, and defensively they're very sound. Their goalkeeper did a great job keeping them in the game, and they made the most of their opportunities. They served in good balls. They really challenged our backs in the air with their deliveries. So at the end of the day, 2 tough games, but found a way to get a win. And I was proud of the guys for responding to the adversity we faced.
The Belhaven football team piled up the points again this weekend as they defeated University of Virginia College at Wise 52-14. The Blazers racked up 282 yards of rushing offense, and in the last 2 games, they've scored 122 points. Belhaven now is ranked 13th in the NAI in points per game at 35. Blazers now 2-3 on the year and on a roll. Here's head coach Joe Thrasher.
Yeah, it was a great win. The guys, again, I thought for 2 weeks in a row, everything started to click. We talked before the game and during the whole week about all 3 phases of the game and making sure we're hitting on every point. And I thought we played well. Special teams came out and played well again, outside of one kind of small issue in extra point field goal unit. We got that corrected. Offense, again, very balanced, rushed and threw for almost identical yardage, having 526 overall total yards. 7 rushing touchdowns. It's been many years since Belhaven can boast that, but that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to come out and establish a run this year. We've done that. 1 time of possession again, and then defensively, I mean, man, our guys again and again just made plays when they had to. Even on one drive, they got down close, and we intercepted it on the goal line. I mean, so one thing that our defense has allowed our offense is some short field as well. And from those short fields, we've been able to have opportunities to go in and score. And so from that, we've been able to be successful, and we're thankful for those opportunities.
The Belhaven men's and women's cross-country teams are back in action this weekend after having last weekend off. They'll hit the course again on Friday at the MC Watson Ford Invitational in Clinton, Mississippi. The women start at 4:30. The men get underway at 5:15. The men's and women's soccer teams are both in action this weekend. They start on Thursday night as they face Southern States Athletic Conference foe Faulkner University at H.T. Newell Field. Women kick off at 5 o'clock, the men at 7. Then on Saturday, they're both on the road at Spring Hill College in Mobile, Alabama. The women kickoff is at 1 o'clock. The men get underway at 3 p.m. Belhaven football team is back at home for the first of 2 straight home games. This weekend, it's Kentucky Christian at H.T. Newell Field. Kickoff is at 1:30. Here's head coach Joe Thrasher.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, they have an unbelievable defense. They've got two very big defensive ends. Their linebackers are active. They do a lot of blitzing from multiple looks, and so we've been preparing for that today. Offensively, they're multiple. You know, they sling it around a little bit, but they try to run it as well too. They got some big guys up front, and then they have a phenomenal return game. Number 7 for them had a 6-yard punt return last week, and then the opening game of the season had a 102-yard kickoff return. And so we're going to have to scheme around that a little bit. But they're good, they're solid. They've lost a few games, but it's been to big opponents. Georgetown, who's number 2 in the country, North Alabama's who are a great Division II team that they've lost to. So, you know, they played some challenging teams, and they're going to come in here and they're going to throw what they have at us, and so we've got to prepare for that. And it's again, it's an Eastern Conference team, but it's still conference, and so it kind of gives an idea of where we stack up, and it should be a good contest.
The volleyball team has another pair of key Southern States Athletic Conference showdowns on the slate for this weekend. It gets underway Friday night at 7 p.m. as the team hosts Faulkner in Rugg Arena. Then on Saturday, the Blazers host Top 10 Lee University in Rugg Arena at noon. Here's head coach Jordan Lay.
We got to keep everybody healthy this week and make sure we just work on the things that we really need to be working on. You know, we have some technical flaws here and there, but, you know, that's nothing that we won't correct this week. I fully expect us to come in fully prepared and coming out with some victories this next week.
This has been another edition of Blazers Inside Access. I'm Kirk McDonald. Thanks for joining us this week. And don't forget, if you can't make it out to the field this weekend, be sure and follow all the action at our athletics website, blazers.belhaven.edu. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Belhaven Blazers. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.